Love 52, how are you doing today? This is Wednesday of week 18. And you know what we're doing week 18? We're taking a look at ITEA in our lives and how not always is ITEA the four ingredients of loving. Sometimes we've used ITEA in unhealthy ways. And we're just taking a look at that so we can identify it. And again, this isn't therapy that we're doing here, you and I. I'm just going down this path, and if you're joining me, you're taking a look at how ITEA has sometimes been negative and therefore complicating love in our lives. And so I told you I was going to tell you about Jack, Jane, and Jezebel. I mentioned that Monday when I was with the Ducks, right? So here you go, Jack, Jane, and Jezebel. Jack represents alcohol. Jane represents drugs. I know that Jane is legal most places, but Jane represents mind-altering substances. And Jezebel represents instant gratifying, impulsive sexual behavior. All right? Now I could speak about smoking cigarettes or vaping and eating and shopping and gambling, but I don't have names for them that start with J. Not yet. So there's the three J's. And you know that I've talked with people, I've helped people for many years who have come to me because of struggling with addiction or dependence. And maybe you don't struggle with addiction or dependence, but chances are you can relate to some degree. See, sometimes in life, it's not always pleasant. Sometimes we've experienced negative emotions, negative circumstances. And if we're healthy, well, we adjust and we manage it in a healthy way. Maybe we turn and invest ITEA into people who are important and healthy in our lives. Sometimes we turn to people and they help us and they give us ITEA, right? Maybe parents, siblings, uncles, aunts, cousins, friends, lovers. I mean, you know, sometimes people give us ITEA and help us through whatever that negative situation is that we're going through. But sometimes, and this is where I think we can all relate to some degree, sometimes we choose some form of escape in the midst of negative emotions, negative circumstances. Sometimes we don't want to deal with it, we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to experience it, so we just turn to some form of escape. People with addiction, people with dependence, you know, maybe it's more often. But here's what happens. We get in this circumstance of life, of negative emotions, negative experience, and we have a choice. We can invest ITEA over here into healthy individuals, into people who can maybe assist us in making healthy choices. We can put our ITEA right there. Sometimes we get interested in a quick out. Sometimes we're interested in an escape. So maybe people turn to Jack, Jane, Jezebel, smoking, eating, shopping, gambling, and they put their interest there. And you can't put your interest in something without time and energy accompanying. So you put your interest, time, energy, and some attention. Because if it's Jack, Jane, or Jezebel, you got to get it. So you got to pay attention of getting it. Or maybe you know where it is at your house, so you got to pay attention where you're going to get to it. Sometimes we put ITEA into forms of escape. And look, I think we've all probably chosen a form of escape from time to time, and we don't want people to know about it. Look, if it's not something you feel shame and guilt about, okay, but maybe you'd be embarrassed if people knew what you did. Maybe you'd be embarrassed because people would know that you chose the quick out instead of the mature, responsible thing, and you don't want them to think of you negatively, so you're embarrassed, so you don't want people to know, so you hide it or keep it secretive. But maybe you do something that you keep hidden or secretive because there's shame and guilt that accompanies it, right? Interest, time, energy, and attention. What could be the four ingredients of loving? Sometimes it's the four ingredients of escape. The 4 ingredients that requires us to hide something, lie maybe, keep the secret. You know that's going to create complications in a relationship. I mean, that's obvious. Hiding, secrecy, lying, that's going to complicate relationships. That's going to complicate love, you know? And so, look, I'm just taking us down a path where we can look and see, have I done that? Have I done it recently? Am I doing it? And we're doing this because we're uncomplicating love. And so if we identify how we negatively have used ITEA and address it and do something about it, well, then we can uncomplicate love. This isn't therapy. Not what we're doing right here. Not in these 6-7 minutes. No, this is not therapy. This is just me sharing with you things that I've done and I've helped people with. And if it triggers something for you, maybe talking to somebody would be helpful to help you uncomplicate love in your life. You know, people I've helped and personal experiences, when we go through this and we identify it and we take responsibility, oh, it sucks in the process. It's not fun, right? It's painful. For a lot of people, it's painful, it's emotional. But the other side is freeing and liberating and uncomplicates love and uncomplicates areas of our life. So that's what we're doing. We're taking a look. So congratulations on having the courage and willingness to continue on this path. Spread love, love yourself, invest ITEA, healthy, authentic ITEA, and we'll talk tomorrow. Take care. Bye.